What's up YouTube? It's your boy Crypto here. I'm back with another guitar spotlight video. Last time we took a look at the good old 7-string, and today we're going to be taking a look at a really old guitar that I have, like really old, and it is none other than Super Squire. Now what Super Squire is, if you've not tuned into the channel for a very long time, is a modified Squire Affinity Stratocaster. I'll go ahead and put some images as I talk about this, about the various steps, because this did not look like this at all when I first got it. When I first got it, it looked like this. It was a very bland rosewood fretboard neck, had a white pick guard, and yeah, that was very different. Quite literally, the only thing that's original that I still have from V1 of Super Squire is the body and this middle pickup. Everything else has been changed. So, why don't we go in chronological order as to the things I changed. I think the very first thing I changed was the pick guard. I went from obviously a white pick guard to a black pick guard, but before I changed the pick guard, I actually did, there might be a photo of it on Instagram. I tried to do the Jimi Hendrix swirly thing on my white pick guard. It came out alright, but then it kind of smeared off. So then I just was like, yeah, I'll get a new pick guard. And then about over 5 years ago, I decided to go even crazier and get a new neck. And so there's this video that I made about headstock inversion, and part of it was me actually wanting to see how an inverted headstock sounds, but the other part of me was I really liked maple fretboards, so went ahead and got it. This is a left hand neck with a maple fretboard off of Amazon that I got, 35 bucks, and it didn't come with tuners, so the tuners I got were these locking tuners, and I went and got some string trees alongside it. Of note, this particular set of left-handed locking tuners, I don't know what it is, but the high E string one, the little locking part didn't want to stay in all the time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy a new one. But just to be extra, I'll make it a different color. So that's why there is the golden colored high E string thing, just to be a little extra. And so then the next thing I did, I think, was I started relicking it. So as you can see, I did fair bit of relicking, like a lot of relicking. What I did is I took everything off the body. That we had a gravel in my backyard in Gilbert, Arizona. I just chucked it on the gravel, kicked it on the gravel, took some sandpaper and just kind of rubbed on it. And then the penultimate is my dad has I forget if it was a belt sander or the rotating sander, but I just sanded off bits here, and then I chipped off the paint there. And then what I also did to relic the neck is I took a little blowtorch to the bit of the headstock. And then probably the most destructive part of it is I wanted to pull a Steve Vai, and I wanted to be able to pull the tremolo back. So I cut away little bits of the body right there, but unfortunately I might have gone a little too far. So what happened then was the part of the body that the bridge screws into cracked, and so it started to go a bit out of tune, unfortunately, which thankfully my dad is a very good woodworker, and he went ahead and epoxied the inside. So I don't know if you can see, but that's epoxy in place of the wood that he went ahead and put on, and it's ever since he put it on, structurally sound ever since. Obviously I got some strap locks on it that we threw on. Everybody loves good old strap locks. And then also, okay, almost forgot, sanded off the Squire by Fender. A little bit right there. I also got a brass nut. This is actually the second brass nut that I got. The first one I actually lost. I don't know where it went, but this is the second one. And the one thing I noticed about this brass nut is it doesn't quite sit perfectly on the neck. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of sits over the side of the neck. which, you know, if I was building like a true to form Stratocaster, I'd pay more attention to. But because because of the nature of what I did to this guitar, I'm like, fuck it, let it sit over the side. So yeah, so that's the deal with that. I also got, I also made my own headstock logo that says Super Squire, and on the back, the serial number that I made is KH. Is it KH? Yeah, KH001, Crypno's Home 001, and before I did have an extra little sticker made. It said like made by Crypno in his home in Gilbert, Arizona. Well, I don't live in Gilbert, Arizona now. I live in Santa Clarita, California. So obviously that sticker is off now. And but yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the stuff. I got a new Fender bridge. This is like just a straight up like Fender. It's like the kind you get like on your Mexican standard Strat. Sounds pretty good. New jack and new jack cover plate. Got that. New pots, new blade, and the pickups. So the pickup situation we got going on here. The very first pickup I changed was the neck one. I changed it to a Seymour Duncan Hot Rails, which is probably the loudest pickup I have in my collection. Like seriously, it is loud. And alongside the Seymour Duncan Hot Rails, I threw in a coil tap switch. That's actually a 3-way toggle. So when it's down, it's the humbucker. When it's in the middle, it's just one of the coils. And then when it's like that, it like inverts one of the coils. So it almost sounds like it's like these two together on like a regular Strat. Yeah, so that's that one. The middle pickup, like I said, is the original pickup from when I first got the guitar. This will probably be the next thing I want to do to this. Is I want to get, my plan is to get like a Seymour Duncan single coil sized P90. That's kind of because I want like a kind of a bigger sound out of it. It doesn't sound terrible. It sounds pretty decent for a Strat, but that would be the final thing final like mod I could do to this thing. In the bridge, so originally I did have the original bridge pickup in there from when it was a normal Squire, but once I started doing all these mods and stuff, eventually I threw in the bridge pickup from we had. It's in storage now in pieces, but it's an Epiphone SG. I don't know if I featured it on this channel. No, I did. It's a long time ago. The pickups that were originally from that SG, I threw that bridge into this bridge for a little while, and in probably my favorite video I've ever done, this one, really question mark, with the silver cover on it, that was that pickup. That was that pickup in this guitar at that time when I recorded that was the SG bridge pickup just thrown into this thing. But then I thought, I want it to be like more official, so I went ahead and got a Seymour Duncan JB, but I got it in a custom red color, just to have this be like, you know, a bit more flashy and fun. And alongside the Hot Rails with its own coil tap switch, the JB also has its own coil tap switch. So in the same configuration, down is humbucker, middle is single coil, and up top is phase reversed. Very similar situation. It's not as loud as the Hot Rails. Like I can't stress this enough. This Hot Rails is loud. No wonder it's called Hot. That's about the gist of the mods I've done to this thing. Like I said, a lot has happened to it. We can do from like a before and after, like look at this as before, and now here's after. So, yep, that's about the story of what we got so far with this one. I will go ahead and cut to some demo footage of me playing it. So it might be a little bit, there's a lot to cover on it because there's so many different sounds, but bear with me, they all sound pretty good. So yeah, enjoy some demos. how I said this thing is so loud? See why? You get the picture. Alright, so that's been me showing off the good old Super Squire. My trusty steed after all these years. So, yeah. If you like these kind of like little guitar demos, leave a like. If you didn't like them, leave a dislike. If your feelings go beyond that, leave a comment down below. But as always, this has been your boy Crypno, aka Griffin Strokey, signing off. Peace.